Next presenter is going to be talking about security in the cloud, probably the biggest challenge, or certainly the perceived biggest challenge in our industry today. He is the president of the management board at Asseco Data Systems, and he's going to be talking about the following. Number of security issues and dangers in the digital market growth is growing rapidly with every year. Many of these challenges can be solved by adding trust services and trust service systems and solutions. Simply sign for PDF signing, certain SSL, certain code signing, and certain email signing are the most popular trust services and are already available in the market today. Moving with trust services to the cloud expands a better user experience, but also a better security experience. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Andrzej Dopierala. Andrzej.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank David for first of pronouncing my name right, which is not that easy for a non-Polish speaking person. And actually, he pretty much said a lot about what I am about to tell you. So still, I have about 20 minutes to tell you about these matters. Now, I want to thank you for being here because 4:30, second day of the conference, when the organizers offered us the slot for the presentation, I was a bit concerned that maybe I'll be speaking to only employees of our company, so thanks for being here. Hope you will be glad you stayed. Okay, before I go into the matters which David mentioned, we're talking about trust services. We're talking about trust and security services. So I want to start with telling you a few words about our company, because when you rely you put your trust in our organization, it's good to know who we are, that we are worth your trust, yes, and your confidence that we can manage that well. Okay, so just a few words about Asseco, the company I represent. This is a company that originates from Poland with over 25 years of tradition, and now we're in operation, active in over 30 countries with more than 22,000 employees. And we're a federation of companies in all these places. We're public in Warsaw, in Poland, we're public in Tel Aviv, and also in NASDAQ. What we primarily do is application software for different market sectors, for banking, for insurance, for healthcare, for public, for telcos, manufacturing, and so on. We do services, and services, of course, related to our software, but other services as well. And trust services is one of the areas that we are quite focused on. That is because when we pitch to our clients our digital transformation strategy, the trust services is one of the cornerstones of that. Okay, so let me now introduce to you the name Certum. Certum is the brand of a certification authority which was started in Poland more than 20 years ago, one of the first actually it was the first in Poland back then. Asseco acquired Certum 3 years ago, so that's how we got ourselves into the electronic trust services business. All our operations, or our technology, this is proprietary technology, this is all located in one physical not in one, a couple of physical locations in Poland, so it's all compliant with various regulations about EU and whether you want your data to be in EU or elsewhere. So in our case, this is all in EU. Of course, as a certification authority, every year we are audited and we have to comply with all the numerous regulations and norms and standards which we of course do. And just a couple of facts about our size. Surely we're not the biggest certification authority in the world, but we're quite innovative, and actually in the Central Eastern Europe we're by far the biggest. Yet we have clients in many countries all over the world. That's one of the reasons we are coming to this conference for quite some time now. I think this is 6th or 7th time that we are here. So again, Certum, that's our brand. This is what we brand our products with. Products, I mean trust and security services, electronic trust and security services. And our offer is quite complete, quite complementary, and of course everything works together. So on that side of the, no, sorry, on this side of the slide, that's reversed here, having a bit of a problem with that. These are our non-qualified services like code signing, like SSLs, like digital seal, like timestamp, like what we call web notarius, so the validation of certificates from other certification authorities. Of course, we do email certificates, and then we still sell hardware and I mean the readers and the cards. On that side, this is our digital signature, so the qualified services, and basically when we provide these to individuals. When we provide these to individuals, this can be in two ways. One is the traditional way, so the card and the reader, but more important is the one in that corner up there, Simply Sign. This is our platform that I will spend more time talking to you about today. The enterprise solutions means that we can combine these things and bring them into the systems, the architecture of our clients, and into their workflows to help them digitize and go into digital transformation of their operations. Okay, so the market is changing, and it's always changing, and it's been changing, and it will be changing. Yet a few things, what I mean by saying that obvious statement. When you look at this up here on the left-hand side and down on the right-hand side, so the customer experience and the mobile solutions. This is basically the need that the access to the trust services, the requirements of the clients have changed a lot. When we started first with the digital signature 20 years ago, really this solution was meant for a handful of enthusiasts. Just a very, very limited number of people who would know how to use it, and using this was really required maybe not a PhD, but definitely was not meant for a normal person, so to speak. So today, since the digitization is happening, the digital transformation is happening, and so much is moving from the physical, from analog into digital, into the web, into the cyberspace, the need for easy of use, for the good customer experience, and for the accessibility anytime, from anywhere, from any location. So the mobile, of course, the mobility, this becomes very important. And you may say that in contrary to that is the security, because usually the more something is easier to use, this may happen, this may be compromising the security, and the other way around. We can make something extremely secure, yet this would be so hard to use that it could be even unusable at the same time. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge that the trust and security services are expanding. There is more and more. Like in Europe, we have this eIDAS directive, which really drives and accelerates the digital transformation. And yet the security becomes even more critical when so much more is happening in the cyberspace. So just the journey that we've been on with the trust and security services, from the solution which I remember 20 years ago, the reader with the card, you had to plug it into your computer, and then really you could access the certificate and your signature or your certificate in the certification authority. The big improvement were the micro cards. You could put it in the USB stick, use it on your laptop, so actually you get some mobility. But basically, we're in the cloud now. Yes, and the name of our conference is CloudFest. All the presentations you've been seeing so far, everybody talks about the cloud because the cloud is here big time. So these services also need to move to the cloud. And that's what we are all about when we say Simply Sign. SimplySign is a platform we created. Actually, we started thinking about this about 4 years ago, about creating a trust services platform that would be accessible from anywhere without the hardware token, without the device, without the pen drive, without the need to have it. And back then, we decided to put a lot of our technology on the smartphone. Actually, many of you probably hardly move anywhere without the smartphone. I'm saying there are some places we, of course, don't take the smartphone with, but normally when you walk out in the morning and you realize that your smartphone is back home, usually most of us, I guess, turn around and head back. So smartphone is always with us. In contrary to the card, when I was using the card for digital signature, it was quite often that either I left it in the office and I needed it at home, or I left it at home and I needed it in the office. So when we thought about this SimplySign technology back then, 4 years ago, we thought, okay, let's use smartphone because everybody uses smartphone and will be using it even more and more and more. And that's how we created the platform. The platform went operational a year ago, so we started offering trust services on SimplySign or in the cloud. To us, when we say SimplySign, we put an equal sign cloud. And we started doing we offered the qualified digital signature from the cloud in July last year. And since then, we are evolving with our services. So basically, what are the features of SimplySign? Already mentioned. You don't need a hardware token, you don't need the reader, you don't need the card, because the card is virtual. It's your card that used to be on this chip card. Now it's stored on the virtual card in our HSMs, in our secure data center, in our secure facility, and in a secure manner, which, as I mentioned before, this is audited by the relevant authorities to verify that everything is compliant with the rules and provides the highest level of security. The issuance process is very quick. Because you don't need to send somebody the card, you don't need to personalize the card and then hand it over to the person who needs to activate it. Of course, it's multi-platform, works on various mobile devices, on Android and on Apple, and then on Windows, on Linux, on Mac, of course, as well. Basically, what can you use it for? Is you can use it for any services that used to require a hardware token. So on this platform, you can create certificates, manage certificates, confirm identity, sign documents, sign code. Code signing, this is actually something we announced just yesterday, as we decided to announce this new product for us, the code signing in the cloud. We announced it here at the CloudFest. So yes, it's available since yesterday, and our partners already and our clients can access that. And the idea is the same as with signing. You can sign from anywhere, just using your smartphone. You can sign when you use your smartphone as a virtual token. For instance, you sign something on a computer, on a laptop, and then you use a smartphone which would access our data center, which would access our infrastructure to provide the key and then the certificate. Or you can even use your smartphone as the device which you sign on. So you can use it with computer or without computer, which is even more handy. It happens to be sometimes that I need to sign some PDF document. I'm on the road, I pull over, and without even pulling out my laptop, I can do it straight on my smartphone. So that's extremely easy to use. And we had when we were creating this technology, we had, of course, a lot of concerns about security, and we hired external auditor who helped us to identify the risks. And finally, we decided that the platform is secure enough when we announced it and brought it to market a year ago. So SimplySign, code sign. Also, I want to put an equal mark. You need when you need to sign your code, you can do it from anywhere without the need to have your hardware token with you. I believe that our solution, our SimplySign platform, even though, as I mentioned before, we're not the largest certification authority, is one of the leading technologies, definitely in Europe, perhaps more than that. And we pride ourselves that we have created this. This is entirely ours, and of course we put a lot of effort to develop new functionalities, develop APIs, to work with our clients to create some new solutions. And really this technology opens a whole new world of opportunities. For instance, you can have one-time certificate, you can have an instant certificate. You can even give a certificate and then charge for per use of your certificate, something you could never have done with a card. The cost of handing out a card with the reader would be substantial. Then you couldn't just give it to somebody and then hope that one day he will use it to sign something. With this, we can do many creative business ideas, which we are already doing with our partners and our clients. Okay, and something got stuck. Okay. Good. So that's in a nutshell what we do, and the main focus was on ease of use. We have to use the smartphone, and we use the smartphone, and this is how we access the digital certificate and our which is stored in our data center. This gives enormous flexibility. The way you want to use it, as I say, you can use it on the smartphone, on a tablet itself, or you can use your smartphone as the device to authenticate the document and then work on your computer or your laptop. Or you work on a tablet, use the smartphone to do this. It's just whatever suits you. That's our technology allows doing that. And from the security perspective, since this is all stored in our secure cloud, there is no way you can lose it. Yes, even if you lose your smartphone, which of course if somebody does, you know it very quickly. It's not like you're gonna let a couple of days pass before you notice that your smartphone is gone. You probably know it within, I don't know, minutes or hours at the most. But even if you do, that's really because it's a two-factor authentication. So really, the smartphone wouldn't do any good even if somebody broke into it and had access to you. So still, the security is there. You cannot lose the card. I mean, because the card is stored virtually in our data center. So we believe that with this solution, we are actually meeting the needs of this something that appears contradictory: ease of use, accessibility, flexibility, yet the highest security. And as I mentioned before, when we introduced this platform to the market, we had long discussions with the auditors about how we address the security concerns, and we were able to design it in such a way that there is no doubt that this is a very secure platform. One could argue that it may be even more secure than the solution which you used to do traditionally with a card and the reader. Okay, so that's in a very few words about SimplySign, our platform for digital signing of whatever you need to sign in the cloud, without the card, without the reader, without hardware, instantly available, very flexible, easy to use. And we are here at CloudFest, just the first alley as you enter the hall, just a couple stands down. And any questions you may have, we are there, and we invite you to come and see us. Thank you very much. That will be all from me.
Andrzej, thank you so much. Andrzej Dopierala from Asseco. So I have one question before you leave us, Andrzej. You mentioned in your presentation the market is changing, and I think that's been the recurrent theme over the last 2 days. How can people in this room benefit from the changes you're talking about working with Asseco?
Okay. Well, yeah, you really give me a nice opportunity to speak for an hour now.
Long enough.
Okay. So if any of you is in the business of hosting, providing web pages to your clients, so we can offer you the certificates, and we can offer you the code signing, all in the cloud or traditional manner. As I mentioned, we have clients for our certificates from all over the world. And yet we are European Union Certification Authority, which is good. That's one thing. And then then we are here to talk with you about solutions for the enterprises, for the larger organizations that would like to transform from paper into paperless. Yet they still need to sign their documents in a way which is unquestionable, and it's equal to signing with a pen on a paper. Then we are here to talk with you about bringing our SimplySign platform into their workflows, into their document management systems.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
A big thank you, CloudFest, thank you to Andrzej Dopierala, the President and Management Board at Asseco Data. Thanks,
everybody.